Stephen Allen Music.
Alright, so we're about to start the session after technical difficulties with my Pro Tools session because I had moved the files somehow. They wouldn't link back up and create itself, and I tried to manually do it, didn't work, so I had to. Luckily, I made the beat in Pro Tools, so all I had to do was just bounce in place again, and boom, we good to go. Let's get it. When it comes to problems in the studio, as an engineer, you're not supposed to let the client know. You're supposed to problem solve like with the quickness and just fix the problem as quickly as possible and just get it done. There's no excuses once you book the session and session starts. You're on the clock. Everything's got to move smoothly. Now, problem is on my half, he told me last night what beat he wanted to work on, and I didn't double check the session. So completely my fault, wasting the client's time, and that's not good. So my reputation take a hit tonight. But lessons learned. Luckily it was a quick fix. It ain't going to drag on and all of that. So good to go. But for all my engineers out there, problem solve. When you're on the clock, you got to problem solve with no excuses. You don't have luxury of excuses once you charge somebody and you're on the clock. Just to let y'all know. So keyword. Writing right now, right? So every once in a while, as an engineer or producer, always check on the artists and make sure they don't need anything. Just tap them like, yo, do you need anything? You good? They might say yes, they might say no, you never know. If they need something, just go handle it for them. Just, quick tip real quick. Just to keep it professional, keep the vibe going. Because you don't want the artist distracted while they're writing and in their creative flow state. You want to keep that flow state as much as possible. So, every once in a while, every hour or two, just double check on them. We're all human beings at the end of the day. So, I'm gonna get back to work.
Sour ad-libs. Yeah.
You ready?
Hold on, I'm drinking some water. Drink some water. Wait.
Pro tip. You want to drink water in between every take. You got to keep the throat lubricated. I don't want to hear nothing all up in my microphone, okay? Stay hydrated. No smoking in your sessions. Trust me on it. Trust me.
Believe me. I'm a prime example. I'm a prime example.
You ready?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, addictive, so uplifted, drifted, fix it, find a way, way.
Alright, so Sour just finished recording his hook. So what we just listened to it a couple of times just now. Just to make sure there's no extra pieces that we want to add or subtract right now. He said it's cool for right now, so he might make changes later. So just to keep the session going, I'm gonna go ahead and fly the hooks and let him get straight to his verses, because I don't count any songs that's complete without 2 verses on it in a hook. So we're just gonna keep the session flowing and see how the night turns out. All right. Definitely not using that. Cut them straight out. Ready?
Yeah. We gotta find a way. We gotta make this happen. Yeah. Yeah. Long run. Woo! Clyde. Die. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Reality. Woo-hoo!
Alright, so Sour just finished his first verse, made it through. You know, the first one's always the hardest one to get the feel of the track fully fleshed out of how you want to execute. So my advice is always practice your verses before you record. That way you can get because it might sound good in your head, but when you actually trying to say it, you might have an accent or something like that where you speak a certain way. So when you actually recording on the track, it might come out a totally different way. And the one that counts is how you actually say it, because we're capturing a performance. So always, like, you know, practice your verse out loud before you record. That way you can get the kinks out a little faster, or you're gonna be taking 100 takes. That's really why you're having a problem recording, and it's taking you a long time. Usually recording the final vocals shouldn't take but a few takes. It shouldn't be taking a lot. It shouldn't be taking a lot at all. Like for me, when you see me do it, I do mine in like 2-3 takes at the most, because I practice for a good 10 minutes on a verse. You have to be dedicated to that verse that much just to make sure you get it right and get it right when you record. That way you save money recording. Tip of the day. Alright, you ready?
Yes, sir.
I have my remote, but it's not reliable.
Yes,
Like, I'll be pressing the button, that shit's not recording. Go back, double check my take, and it's not there. Be like, man, that damn remote.
Old fashioned. Bang, bang. Yeah. Woo. Boo. Me and you. Been through. Shh. Yeah. Yes, I. Woo. Leave.
Atlas be making no sense.
Hey, Atlas.
Minos! It's good, y'all. Day 2. Sour's writing his third verse right now. We're gonna take it slow. Point blank period. We're gonna take it slow. Compete one record at a time. No, get the sound right. Get the music right. That way when it's time to release, we're not worried about too much. Because you gotta be confident in the music, and that's what it's all about. Let's get it. Let me give y'all a pro tip on writing. Okay, so you have a record that's 3 verses. You gotta make sure each verse links to the next one. So the storyline has to progress with each verse. So beginning, middle, end. Especially when you're doing a track by yourself, it's beginning, middle, end. Because you're only competing against yourself. You don't have to write the hardest verse in the universe unless you have features. If you have features, as long as you're staying on topic, you can write the hardest verse ever. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of artists get carried away with when they do features to just write the hardest verse possible and don't even be talking about the subject matter of what the hook is talking about. So it's not cohesive. That's why a lot of records don't work, because everybody, it's just name recognition basically. But if you want music to last, write a story, and each verse needs to be another piece of the story, a different point of view. It could be just a different point of view, but from the same perspective. So like, it's different ways to do it, but we'll get deeper into that as we go along with the different records. So hey, pro tip, just make it, it's gotta make sense. It's gotta make sense, okay? You ready?
Yep. Hot. One of the lights ever, yeah. Hey. So profound. I'm stupid for that. I don't know what the hell I was thinking on that part. Oh my gosh. I was still like, oh my gosh. Hot. Woo. All the lights ever. Hey. Bow. Down.
Alright, so done recording. We're gonna listen from top to bottom just to make sure everything's cohesive. See if we need to add anything or take anything out. And then after that, I'm gonna just mix the record and that'll be the night. Cause we're just gonna work on one record at a time. So if we don't finish a record in one setting, the next day we'll just finish it, finalize it, and that'll be the night for the next night or whatever. And then move on. That way we always go into a record with a clear vision. Cause you know, if you're recording back to back, sometimes you'll start using the same topics over and over, or the same flows over and over. And for this, I need him to make sure that every song is unique so that they can stand on their own. So if we have records that don't make the cut for the final album, he still has a bunch of singles that he can still throw out, and they sound totally different from what the album is. So nobody even will know when he recorded them, how old they are. It's not going to matter. You know what I'm saying? They got to be able to stand on their own. So, yeah.